Our thanks to sponsors and partners without whom this event would not be possible. Funding partner, Sport England. Official partner, Speedo. Official supplier, IHG. Supporting partners, Sport Systems, Sheffield City Council and Ponds Forge International Sports Centre.
Our thanks to sponsors and partners without whom this event would not be possible. Our funding partner, Sport England. Our official partner, Speedo. Our official supplier, IHG. Our supporting partners, Sport Systems. Sheffield City Council. And of course, Ponds Forge International Sports Centre.
Ladies and gentlemen, could you please welcome to the poolside your referees and their teams of officials. Your referees for this afternoon's session, it is Craig Hunter. And your starters are Rhiannon Edwards and Roger Pryor. Thank you, officials. Please take your places. So we have 5 heats this afternoon, and heat number 6 will be swam in tonight's session. Heat number 6 contains our 2 categories, the 16-17-year category and the 18 years and over. So this afternoon we need to get behind all of our swimmers. We know that GB is swimming well in the 1500. We saw Stephen Milne go forth into tomorrow night's final out there at the Worlds. And let's get behind our swimmers as we encourage them to personal best times in the 5 heats this afternoon on the 1500.
And we're on to event 511, the men's 1500 meters freestyle. There are 5 heats. Heat number 1. And we're off with heat number 1 of event 511, the men's 1500 meters freestyle. And swimming in lane 0, representing Staines, Ross Philp. Lane 1, representing Winsford, Henry Oliver. In 2, also from Winsford, Daniel Hume. In 3, representing Nova Centurion, Matthew Fallon. In 4, swimming for Sevenoaks, Nathaniel Rodriguez. In 5, swimming for Nova Centurion, Ryan Wilcox. In 6, representing Ellesmere College, Benjamin Holland. Lane 7, swimming for Chester Street, Daniel Butler. And in lane 8, representing Deepings, Tom Adams. After the first 100 there, Daniel Butler from Chester Street, 67.10, just inches ahead of lane number 8, Tom Adams, alongside him. And after 200 here, 2:19.27 to Daniel Butler of Chester Street in lane number 7. He continues to lead the way, and going alongside him is Adam Deepings. Tom Adams from Deepings, sorry. And turning still in the lead here, Daniel Butler of Chester Street, 2:55.79. Currently alongside him, Tom Adams of Deepings, 2:56.36. And currently in third in the central lane, in lane number 4, Nathaniel Rodriguez from Sevenoaks in a 2:57.59. After 300 there, Daniel Butler, 3:32.34. Still very close between Daniel Butler of Chester Street in the white hat in lane number 7, 4:08.98, his split time there. And alongside him, Tom Adams in the red hat from Deepings, 4:09.39. And still currently lying in third position in lane number 4, it is Daniel Rodriguez of Sevenoaks. He was 7th in the 200 meters freestyle earlier this championships. .4:46.16 there for Daniel Butler at the 400-meter mark. Just 0.4 of a second quicker than Tom Adams. Having very good length here and really urging forwards and trying to fight for the third position is lane number 2, swimming from Winsford, Daniel Hume. And we're coming up to 500 meters now, ladies and gentlemen, and it is a very close race between Daniel Butler and Tom Adams from D-Kings, and it is Tom Adams, the new leader now at the 500 meter mark. He touches there 6 minutes 42, and he's just 7/100 quicker than Daniel Butler from Chester Street, who's at 6 minute 0.49. Third place has changed, and that's now currently Daniel Hume from Winsford in lane number 2. But there are 5 boys collectively from 0 to 4 who are currently lying in that 3rd position. And Daniel Butler there at the 5:50 mark, taking back the lead, 6:37.16. That's a 36 split for him on that 50 meters there. At 600 now, it is Tom Adams who's taking it back. It's a very close race between these two boys, and they're really urging themselves forward ahead of the rest of the field. They're about a body length ahead of Daniel Hume, Winsford swimmer, in lane number 2. Entry times between these boys range from 18:07.32, which was Nathaniel Rodriguez from Sevenoaks, through to 18:26.85 for Ross Philp from Staines in lane number 0. As we come up to the 700 meter mark now, though, it is Chester Street's Daniel Butler, 8:27.39. That's a 1:13 100 meter split for him. Second, Tom Adams, but really pushing forward now, Daniel Hume from Winsford in lane number 2. The black hat with the orange writing really pushing forward, but also going well alongside him in 4. It is Nathaniel Rodriguez of Sevenoaks, who does have the quickest entry time. All these boys are 13 years of age, except for Benjamin Holland in lane number 6, who swims for Ellesmere College. He's just 12. And these boys were looking to post quick times to ensure they can get through to medals, which will be made after the final heat, which are presentations after the final heat. $800-meter mark now, so we're now over halfway, ladies and gentlemen. Daniel Butler there leading the way at 9:40.80. Currently now in second place is Daniel Hume of Winsford, 9:41.34. They've just got slightly quicker there, 1:12 for their 100 split. So it's now 4 boys out in front for contention to be the quickest in heat number 1. As I said, all of these are 12 to 13 year age group. There are 3 more boys, 3 more 13-year-olds coming up in the next heat, in heat number 2. And then the fastest qualifying 13-year-old is James Cooper in heat 3. He goes in lane 9. With a qualifying time of 17:35.99. At the 900-meter mark, we have a new leader, ladies and gentlemen. It's Daniel Hume from Winsford. 10:53.6, and that is 1/10 of a second, nearly 2 tenths quicker than Daniel Butler in lane number 7. And that again is a 1:12 for the swimmers. Really keeping a sensible pace here as we come up to the 1,000-meter mark at the end of this length. Like I said before, there is 4 swimmers here in contention at leading out this race. They're a good 10 meters now ahead of the rest of the field. And it is lane number 2, Daniel Hume from Winsford. And Daniel Butler in lane number 7, who will look to turn first at the 1,000-meter mark. Just 500 meters to go, ladies and gentlemen, for this heat number 1 of the men's 1,500 meters freestyle. And these swimmers can now see the 9 at the end of the pool for them. They've just got 9 lengths to go. And this will be very sore, but this very consistent 1:12 swim for Daniel Hume and Daniel Butler as they come down this length here. Up to the 1,100 mark. At the 1,100 mark here, it is still Daniel Hume from Winsford leading the way, 13:19.09. Again, 1:12 for him. Coming back now, it is lane number 4, Nathaniel Rodriguez from Sevenoaks. He's battling with Daniel Butler currently for this 3rd place position. We are now coming up to the 1,200-meter mark. Just 300 meters to go when we have this turn at this end. Currently leading the way at Daniel Hume. He overtook about the 600 mark here. And he turned there in a time of 14:32.5. That's just slightly slower there, 1:13.4 for those swimmers there. But we've only got 300 to go, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get behind these swimmers as they come up to the final end of the 1,500 meters freestyle heat number 1. Daniel Hume really extending his lead now. He's a good body length ahead of the rest of the field. He'll look to keep improving on that as he comes down into the final 200. So it is Hume leading the way. Butler from Chester Street, body length behind him. And Nathaniel Rodriguez of Sevenoaks with the quickest qualifying time, a body length behind him. At the 1,300-meter mark, it is Daniel Hume from Winsford, 15:46.05. And that's a 1:13.5 for them. So they're just slightly slowing up. They were doing 1:12 a couple of hundreds ago, but they will really be looking to pick up the pace here as they come up to the last 150. So really do get behind your swimmers now. They've got 100 meters to go, ladies and gentlemen. This is an extremely tough race. 1,500 meters freestyle for heat number 1. Turning first here, it is Daniel Hume from Winsford. Turns then 16:59.77. Second there, currently Daniel Butler of Chester Street over in lane number 7. Turning there 17:01.03. And a third there, Nathaniel Rodriguez from Sevenoaks, 17:01.75. And they'll be really looking to push themselves as they come up to the final turn of this 1,500 meters. These three boys are way out in front, but the the heat positions have not been decided yet. And it is a Daniel Hume turning first. Looking like he has the slowest stroke rate of these three boys coming at him. But he's a half a body length ahead of Nathaniel Rodriguez in lane number 4 from Sevenoaks. And really chasing them down over in lane number 7 is Daniel Butler, our early leader. And it is pretty much in a line now for Nathaniel Rodriguez and Daniel Hume. Nathaniel is really picking up the pace here as he comes into the firefly meters. See whether he can put his head down as he continues to the wall. And it is Nathaniel Rodriguez for Sevenoaks who takes heat number 1 in a time of 18:10.6. Second there going to Daniel Butler from Chester Street in 18:11.54. And third they're going to Daniel Hume from Winsford in 18:12.08. And the official results are now on the scoreboard. We move on to heat number 2. We're on to heat number 2, ladies and gentlemen. Swimming in lane 0, representing a city of Liverpool, Ben Smith. In lane 1, representing Royal Wolverhampton School, Thomas Watkin. In lane 2, swimming for City of Leeds, Thomas Jackson. In 3, representing Northampton, Billy Pettit. In 4, also from Northampton, Brett Davies. In 5, swimming for Beckenham, Timothy Lebel. In 6, swimming for City of Canterbury, Thomas Wilton. Lane 7, representing Dover Lifeguards, Lee Shepherd. In 8, swimming for Royal Wolverhampton School, Daniel Johnson. And completing the lineup in lane number 9, from Swindon Dolphins, Joshua Fox. So after the first 100 meters there, turning first is Thomas Wilton from City of Canterbury in lane number 6. Split time there, 63.26. That's 4 seconds faster. 3.8 seconds faster than the previous heat at the 100-meter mark. And we've got a collection of 13 and 14-year-olds in this heat. 3 13-year-olds, they are swimming in lane 1. That's Thomas Watkin from Royal Wolverhampton School. Lane 5, Timothy Lebel from Beckenham. And then also lane number 8, Daniel Johnson from Royal Wolverhampton School. And it is still Thomas Wilton, the city of Canterbury, leading the way to 13.44. His split there for that 100 meters, 1:10.2. Really coming back at him now, though, is lane number 4. That's Brett Davies of Northampton. And those 13-year-old swimmers, those 3 13-year-old swimmers, will have seen Nathaniel Rodriguez swim fastest in the heat before for the 13-year-old boys. He set that time now as 18:10.6, and that is so far the fastest 13-year-old boys time. However, these 3 13-year-olds have faster entry times. They're all sub 18 minutes in this heat. We've got entry times from 17:36.46 through to 17:58.51. And at the 300-meter mark there, we have a new leader, and that's Brett Davies from Northampton in lane number 4. Split time there, 1:09 for the previous 100. Slightly quicker by a second than the one previously. And Brett Davies here from Northampton, really pushing forward. It's about a body length ahead of the rest of the field now as we come up to the 400-meter mark. 4:32.76 for Brett Davies there. Currently in second, going well. His teammate alongside him, that's Billy Petit of Northampton in lane number 3, 4:34.88. And currently lying in third over in lane number 6, our early leader, Thomas Wilton, in a time of 4:35.12. And we're coming up to the 500-meter mark now, and it is Brett Davies leading the way, 5:42.96, and that's a 1:10.2 for him there, so slightly slower by 0.3 of a second than his previous 100, 1:09.9 for him between 300 to 400. Going very well, though, over in lane number 2. He's really picked up the pace in that last 100 meters. That's Thomas Jackson from City of Leeds in the yellow hat. And going well alongside him, too, it is Brett Davies' teammate, Billy Petit. He's currently lying in third. But really watch out for also lane number 5, Timothy LaPearl from Beckenham. He's really caught up in the last couple of hundreds. So we're coming up to the 600-meter mark, ladies and gentlemen, of heat number 2 of the men's 1,500 meters freestyle. And at 600, it is Brett Davies still leading the way, 6:52.4. And that's back down to a 1:09 for him there. Very consistent swim for him. Currently in second place, it is lane number 2, Thomas Jackson from the City of Leeds. And currently vying for that third place position, there are 3 or 4 swimmers. That's Billy Petit in lane 3 from Northampton. Turning in lane 5 now is Timothy LaBelle from Beckenham. Lane 6, Thomas Wilson from City of Canterbury. And watch out for lane number 9. He's in the outside lane. It's Joshua Fox from Swindon Dolphins. And at 700 meters, Brett Davies really is starting to extend his lead now. 5 meters ahead of the rest of the field. He turned there 8:02.33, and that's another 1:09.9 for him. And we've got a tweet here from William Davies saying, "Come on, Josh, beast it, swim like hell, cheering for you all the way, go Swindon Dolphins." And that's Josh in lane number 9, Joshua Fox, who's currently in 6th position. And at the 800 mark, there is Brett Davies still leading the way, 9:13.04. And that's a 1:10.7 for him. Consistently going a 1:10 or 1:09 for these boys in heat number 2. Do make sure, if you are watching these 1500s, use the hashtag ASA Nat 2015, and we will try read as many out as possible. We have a lady here called Lauren who's extremely excited for these 1500s. She's written it all in capitals, excited for this 1500. Can we get a shout out for Josh, James and Will? Hashtag boom time. This is a very good 100-meter swim here from lane number 2, Thomas Jackson, who's extremely caught up to 3/100ths of a second on leader Brett Davies. Brett Davies there turning in a 10:24.22. And that's now a 1:11.2 for these swimmers as they are coming up to the 1,000-meter mark at the end of this 100. So, ladies and gentlemen, they will see the 11 number as they can see it when they come down to the end of the pool, and they will know they're coming up to the 1,000-meter mark. And we do have a new leader now. It is Thomas Jackson from City of Leeds in lane number 2. He's really picked up his pace as he comes up to the 1,000-meter mark. About a body length ahead of Brett Davies now. Still holding on to 3rd position is Billy Petit from Northampton. And at the 1,000-meter mark, it is Thomas Jackson, 11:33.62. And he goes another 1:09 here for Thomas Jackson. He's really picked up the pace here as knocking at 2 seconds off from the last 100 split. But still going well with him is early leader Brett Davies. And they really are extending their lead over the rest of the pool now. Good 5 meters ahead of Billy Petit, Brett's teammate from Northampton, as we come up to the 1100 meter mark. .400 meters to go for heat number 2. And Thomas Jackson here leading the way, 12:42.95. That's another 109 for him there. And these 3 swimmers are breaking away from the rest of the pool. So leading the way by 5 meters, it is Thomas Jackson as City leads in lane number 2 in the yellow hat. Currently 5 meters behind him in lane 4, it's Brett Davies from Northampton. And 5 meters behind him, it is Billy Petit from Northampton in lane 3. And we're coming up to the 1200 meter mark now, just 300 meters to go. And Thomas Jackson really using 7 meters underwater. So good, just a couple of meters further than Brett Davis's turn there. Thomas Jackson 13:52.41. It's another 109. In his previous split. And Thomas Jackson seems to be really picking up the pace here as he comes up to the 1300 meter mark. He's extending his lead to about 7 meters ahead of Brett Davies of Northampton, who still in turn is 5 meters ahead of his teammate Billy Petit. At the 1300 meter mark then, 15:01.98. Thomas Jackson is swimming a good 45 seconds ahead of the previous heat. So all these swimmers will be looking to go sub 18 minutes, as like their qualifying times. And that's a 109.5 there. For Thomas Jackson in lane number 2. As we come up to the 1400 meter mark, ladies and gentlemen, with 100 meters to go. Do ensure you get behind your swimmers. This is a very long distance in the event 5:11, the men's 1500 meters freestyle heat number 2. And you can hear the bell go for Thomas Jackson. He turns there 16:11.28. And the bells are flying for lane number 4, Brett Davies, turning there 6:19.05. And third, Billy Petit from Northampton, 16:24.3. These swimmers doing a 109.9, sorry, for their previous 100. And we've got Thomas Jackson leading the way. He's coming up to his final turn. He sees that number 1 as he turns now. Just 50 meters to go, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get behind your swimmers. Let's shout as loud as you can to bring them home in heat number 2. And Thomas Jackson with an entry time of 17:49.08, and he will be well underneath that as he comes into the last 10 meters here. And it's Thomas Jackson. He took over in the about 700 mark, and he takes heat number 2 in a time of 17:18.72. That's a good 30 seconds quicker than his entry time. Second, they're going to Brett Davies of Northampton, 17:27.72. And third, Billy Petit from Northampton, 17:33.93. And that's the top 3 places, but we still have swimmers coming in, so do ensure you cheer them on as they come down this final length for heat number 2. And so Thomas Jackson there, taking heat number 2 in 17:18.72. And that's now the fastest 14-year-old boy. And we're just waiting for the official results now for heat number 2. And the official results are now on the scoreboard.
Heat number 3. Heat number 3 in lane 0 from Maidenhead, Joel Lang. Lane 1, swim from Maxwell, William Martin. Lane 2 from Portsmouth Northsea, Dominic Johnson. Lane 3 from the City of Leicester, Tom Ryan. Lane 4 for Swindon Dolphins, William Davies. Lane 6 from Plymouth Neander, Jay Snowden. Lane 7 from the City of Birmingham, Ryan Andrews. Lane 8 from Guildford City, Lewis Illingworth. And in lane 9 from Romford Town, James Cooper. Fastest 100 split we've had so far is 63.26. That was in the previous heat. And already these gentlemen are making a move on that with a 61.36 for the gentleman in lane 1. That's William Martin from Maxwell. And we have 3 13-year-olds in the previous heat. The remainder of those boys were 14. And in this heat, we have a 14-year-old in lane 0. That's Joel Lang. James Cooper in lane number 9 is our last 13-year-old. And the remainder of these boys are 15 years of age. It's set for also Lewis Illingworth in Guildford City, lane number 8. He's also 14. So the middle lane's taken up by our 15-year-olds. Joel Lang and Lewis Illingworth are 14 years of age, and James Cooper, 13 years of age. But at the moment, it is the gentleman in lane number 2 now, Portsmouth Northsea swimmer Dominic Johnson. Dominic Johnson will lead the way at the 200-metre mark in a 2:07.63. That's 6 seconds quicker than the previous heat. And that's a 66.3 for that 100-metre. William Maxwell Martin then and Dominic Johnson taking it out. The medal ceremonies for the age group categories of the 1500, 12 to 13, 14 years and 15 years will be held at the end of this session. So we do ask all of those that are in contention to keep an eye on the scoreboard and the summary and ensure that you make your way to the presentation area if you are lucky enough to stand on that podium. 300-meter mark, these guys will go faster than the previous heat. We saw the previous heat go 3:22. These boys are going to be around the 3:14 mark. They are 3:14.20. That's a 66.8 there, 66.8 second split at the 300-meter mark. We talked about having over 90 plus workforce here in the building every day with the ASA navy blue t-shirts on. It wouldn't happen, this event, if it wasn't for our officials, our referees and everyone behind the scenes. We've got a number of people that have been involved, right, including last week and this week, and some volunteers coming in for a couple of days. But we appreciate every single person's time and effort that you've given us at these ASA National Summer Championships. At the 400-meter mark, we are at 4:21.44. That's 9 seconds quicker than the previous heat. And that is a 67.2 split on that 100 meters. Leading the way now, William Martin has taken the lead. Maxwell swimmer from Dominic Johnson, Portsmouth North Sea. But these two really utilising each other and bringing each other across every single 100 meters. 1500 meter then, a quite difficult race to swim if you are swimming out on your own or if you don't have a swimmer nearby. As these gentlemen would have sat down with their coaches before and talked about the splits that they need to be going per 100, when they need to be increasing the stroke rate, when they need to bring the legs in. And it's really important that these swimmers are mature enough to be able to maintain that conversation, not be excited about the race, not take it out too quickly, and do exactly what they've done day in, day out in training. They've done a lot of sets leading up to this, a lot of pace sets that would have given them a good chance of hitting a personal best time. William Martin then turns at the 500-meter mark in a 5:28.78. That is a 67.3 for that 100-meter. Ian Finbow says good luck to Bailey Finbow in heat number 4 of the 1500 meters. So good luck to you. And Joshua Jensen Cowham says, come on Timothy in the 1500 free, heat number 2. He swum. We saw that he did very well. So well done, Timothy. Seven Oaks are sending their congratulations to Nathan, who won heat number 1 in 18:10.60. Seven Oaks, a perfectly timed race in which he took the lead with 12 meters left. Hashtag mum almost had a heart attack. 6:35.87. 6:35.87 for that. And that's now increased the lead for William Martin by 3 seconds. And that's a 67.1 for that split. Now these boys are approaching the halfway mark. They've still got 150 to go, 100 at this turn, and then they will be at the halfway mark. Do remember to keep those tweets coming in. It's hashtag ASA Nat 2015. So William Martin has now made his move on this 1500. Interesting enough, that was between the 400 and 600 mark where he's really increased that leg kick. He turns in a 7:42.88, 7:42.88. That's just over 68 seconds, but only by 1/100th. 68 points for that 100. Just to mention a few names that have been helping us out this week. We've got a really strong team down below me in the timing suite that make everything happen on the scoreboard, the recording and the IT. Just a few mentions, and if I've missed out anyone, I do apologise. Ray, Linda, David, Ian, Keith, Jane, Ian, Martin, Chris, Leslie, David, Dan, Freya, Andrew and Tom again. We thank you for all of your hard work. That's the IT, recording and scoreboard team down below me in the Amiga suite. But William Martin now is leading the way. William Martin is our 15-year-old. James Cooper up in lane number 9 is doing very well, currently 6th position in this heat. But William Martin, he turns at 8:50, 8:50.04. That's a high 67 point there. So, and I can tell you that at this point, due to the previous heat, William is 3 seconds quicker than the previous heat on that last 100. But on overall is averaging out between 67s, high 66s through to low 68s. So William really pacing this very well at the moment. We're now at the halfway mark for William, and he has less than halfway to go. So great swimming for him so far. Let's keep an eye on the rest of the field. Remember what I said. We've got James Cooper in lane number 9, who is 13 years of age. Joel Lang in 0 and Lewis Illingworth in 8 are 14 years of age. The remainder of these boys are in the 15-year category. The 900 metre then is William's next mark, and that's 9:57.76. That's a 66 high there, so again picking up the speed a little bit on that 100 metres. Closely behind him then, let's look what's happening down at the rest of the field. William Davies, Swindon Dolphins, 10:07.07. And starting to come back at him is Dominic Johnson in lane number 2 from the Portsmouth North Sea Club. A great battle now going on with the 3 lads behind him. We got Ryan Andrews from the City of Birmingham, Jay Snowden from Plymouth Leander, and in lane 2, Dominic Johnson. It's always interesting to have a look at the coaches on poolside and the hand signals that they give their swimmers as they do the 1500. Adam Taylor doing a lot of hand signals to Ryan Andrews from the City of Birmingham down there to my right. Chris Little doing a great job taking those splits. Well done, boys. But William Martin, he turns then at the 1,000 metre mark in 11:05.07. That's a 67 point there for William. And the battle really now starting to happen behind them, because these boys will need to bring it up if they want to get on that medal position podium this afternoon. Remember, we are going to be giving out those medals for the 12, 13-year-olds, the 14-year-olds and the 15-year-olds at the end of this session. In the next heat, we see a couple more 15-year-olds. They will be Joseph Dobb, James Watson, Alexander Axford, Matthew Cross, Brayley Finbow and Joshua Lewis. We then have one more 15-year-old to compete this afternoon, and that will be Ewan Springett in heat number 5. But William, he comes up to the 1100 metre mark, and we're looking around a 12:12, and he does that exactly, 12:12.62. And that's a 67.5 split there for William. So now starting to get comfortable in those 67 points for William Martin from Maxwell. Megan Illingworth has just sent a tweet to her brother, I believe. Go on, Lewis Illingworth. Keep going in your 1500. Swim like bison, play football like fish from your big sister, Megan. So if you heard that, Lewis, come on. Kick those legs and bring yourself home. William Martin is coming up to his 1,200 metre mark, just over 400 metres to go for the Maxwell swimmer. So we're looking around the 13:24 mark. And we turn in 13:20. That's a 68-1 for that split, 68-1 for the swimmer from Maxwell, William Martin. And coming behind him, look at what's happening in lane number 4. Swindon Dolphins, William Davis has now started to increase his second position lead. And the battle really going on for the third position in this heat between Dominic Johnson, Portsmouth North Sea. Tom Ryan has started to make his move from the city of Leicester, as has Ryan Andrews from the city of Birmingham. Ryan Andrews now really having a good look across the pool and seeing what he can do, as he has increased his leg kick as these swimmers come into their turn. 350 metres to go for these boys. But William Martin has just over 300 metres to go for his 1500. We've seen him settle around the 66 highs through to 68 lows. And he will touch in around 14:28, 14:29.02. That's a 68 high there for William, 68. So William then has just under 200 metres to go. The 1400 split will be the next 100 metre, and then he'll hear the lovely sound of the bell. So William now starting to increase his leg kick, as is William Davies and Swindon Dolphins. He's now started to speed up his arms, so the stroke rate has increased. And William will hear the bell at this turn. It will be sound to his ears. But we have all 9 swimmers in this race that will need your support. William looks like he will certainly go a better time than his entry time. He turns in a 15:36.98. And he has already picked up the speed there, because that is a 1.7 there, 1.7 point. Just to give you an idea of what his entry time is. William Martin, the 15-year-old, has an entry time of 17:19.80. He will go inside that. But let's keep an eye well across the rest of the pool, as these swimmers will need your support. They've gone incredibly hard here. But William Martin turns for the last time and brings it home for the team from Maxwell. Come on, William, kick those legs. A real good effort here. Remember, that entry time saw him post a 17:19.80. He's going to be well inside this, ladies and gentlemen. It's a fabulous personal best time. So please show your appreciation for your winner of heat number 3. It's going to be William Martin. He touches in a 16:08.75. 16:08.75. Great swimming by William. Here comes William Davis. What a name to have in this 1500, as they are swimming ever so well. 16:08 for the winner, then 16:08.75. We're just waiting on a time for lane number 4. 16:59.84 for lane number 4, 16. The third position in that race is Ryan Andrews from City of Birmingham, 16. We're just looking on confirmation of those times, as I have different times on my screen to what's on the board. just waiting on confirmation, so keep your eye on the score. But in the meantime, there's quite a few of us in the building. Can you please put your hands together for heat number 3? Really tough swimming by all 9 of our boys in that heat. A number of them going so much better than their entry times. And those are the official results now on the scoreboard. Heat number 4. Heat number 4, that's the penultimate heat of this afternoon session. But remember, we will be swimming heat number 6 in this evening session. Starting us off in lane 0 from Bromley is Joseph Dobb. Lane 1 from Swindon Dolphins, James Watson. Lane 2 from the City of Manchester Aquatics, Alexander Axford. Lane 3 from Beckenham, Lucas Antanatavicius. Lane 4 from Guildford City, George Smith. Lane 5 from Team Mercia, David Broadbent. Lane 6 from Team Ipswich, Bailey Fimbo. Lane 7 from the City of Milton Keynes, Marcus Johnson. Lane 8 from Davencio, Matthew Cross. And in lane 9 from Thanet Swim, Joshua Lewis. So at the moment, not too much to choose between these lads, but the fastest split at 100 was from the previous heat, 61.36. They're going to be around that, and these boys are turning 10th faster, in fact, 61.23 for Team Mercia's David Broadbent. Heading us up at second place at the moment is between Lucas and Tanavicius from Beckenham and James Watson from Swindon. Tony Beckley, please feel free to send me the pronunciation up here, please, for your swimmer. The fastest 200 split did come from the previous heat, and that was a 2:07.63. And at the moment, as these boys settle into their stroke, you can now see they have now got into a relaxed rhythm. It's interesting to see the leg kick amongst these swimmers who are conserving their legs, who are choosing to build themselves into the first 400. At the 200-meter mark, it is Team Mercia's David Broadbent in a 2:08.27. That's a 67.05 split. Slightly slower than the previous heat, but don't be too concerned about that, as we still have quite a way to go. And remember, it is about times from the previous heat, but these boys will be wanting to set personal best times, so they do need to swim their own race. Mentioned before, they would have tactically sat down with their coach and talked about when they make their move. Is it going to be in the first part of the race? Are they going to make 2 moves? Will they do it between the 6 and the 800 and then again between the 13 and the 15? Every swimmer will swim this differently, so do expect some of those places to change as we get settled into this race. James Watson from Swindon Dolphins doing extremely well here. He now has a slight advantage at this next turn. 3:14.20 is the fastest time so far. James Watson will just turn first in a 3:16.39. That's a 68.1 for James Watson. In this heat, we have 6 15-year-olds. We still have one 15-year-old to go in the next heat, but the 6 15-year-olds this heat are Joseph Dobb, lane 0, James Watson, lane 1, Alexander Axford, lane 2, Bailey Finbow, lane 6, Matthew Cross, lane 8, and Joshua Lewis, lane 9. The boys in the middle, Lucas, George, David, and Marcus Johnson, are in the 16 to 17 category. 4:21.44 has been the fastest time so far at the 400-meter mark. I've completely missed a few now. .424.16 for the swimmer in lane number 1. That is a 68 points for Mark James. So James now just starting to really settle down into those 68 points. We may see him start to speed it up and hopefully get into the 67 points towards the latter part of this race. But if he does maintain 68 points, he will still be hosting a new personal best time today. Very different stroke rates here between David Broadbent from Team Mercia and James Watson in lane number 1, your current leader. He turns in a 5:32.33. Again, that is another 68.2 there. 68.2 for James Watson. A great last 100 there was from Joseph Dobb in lane 0. Joseph Dobb has certainly made his first move of this 1500 meters. And the faster two stroke rates of our 3 leaders at the moment is Joseph Dobb and David Broadbent. James Watson currently has quite a controlled stroke rate and kick as he comes into his 600-meter mark. We've just had a tweet from Matt who says, good luck to Joe Dobb. Joe is in lane number 1, representing Bromley Swim Club. Hopefully, Matt, he's heard that tweet. Turning first then is still James Watson, 6:40.48. That is a 68.1, so slightly quicker on that 100. And the swimmer in lane number 7 now has started to make his move. That's Marcus Johnson from the city of Milton Keynes. I always find 1500s ever so fascinating because you really can quite clearly see when each individual swimmer has chosen to make their move. Some swimmers may even make up to 3 moves in a 1500. And the city of Milton Keynes really maximizing this 100 meters as he's now putting himself back into contention. But at the moment, James Watson is being chased down by David Broadbent and Joseph Dobb. 700-meter mark then is 7:49.02. That is a 68.6 there, 68.6 split. For James Watson. So he's very comfortable now at the 68 points. I'd be very interested to see what the last split was from the city of Milton Keynes and Marcus Johnson. And now starting to come back as well is Guildford City's George Smith. He's increased his stroke rate as he now come in to the halfway point of this race. These boys now officially have under halfway to go of this 1500 meters. Maxwell Swim Club say, fantastic job, Billy. 67's almost all the way for a massive 38-second personal best time in the 1500. Hashtag smashed it. Hashtag big kick in. Well done to Billy. So then James Watson, he turns in an 8:57.87. That is a 68.7 there, 68.7 split. So still very comfortable around the 68s. We saw the previous heat had predominantly 67 points. And that really was some great swimming there. But our outside lanes really are giving it a great go. And all you need is a lane to give you a chance of setting a personal best time, of giving you a chance of getting on that media podium. I always say you've got to be in it to win it. 900 meters then these boys are coming up to. James Watson is being hunted down, but still maintains his lead. He has started now to increase the kick rate. And he's going to turn at the 900 meter mark in a 10:06.26. That is a 68.6. 68.6 then for him. So these boys, when they come up to the next turn by the scoreboard, will have just 500 meters to go. If you are sitting in the stands, we do need you to wave and cheer, because this is a tough event mentally and physically for these boys to do. We always tend to see less spectators on the 1500, so we always expect so much more from you. Please feel free to give every single swimmer a cheer and not just your own. I love the waves that you are giving me across in the commentary box. Please stand up and give a shout and a cheer. Give us a dance as well. Fantastic. So James then is going to turn at the 1,000 meter mark in an 11:14.89. And that again is a 68.6. So great swimming by this swimmer. Very relaxed, very controlled. Now probably start to see him increase it, and you can already do that by that leg kick. It is getting more powerful. The stroke rate has now started to kick up for the swimmer in lane number 1. That is James Watson. Joseph Dobb, though, trying to give it a good go. Joseph Dobb is one of our 15-year-olds, as is your leader, James Watson. So Joseph Dobb knows that he needs to get as close as he can to James Watson to give himself a good chance of getting on that medal podium. We still have one more 15-year-old to go in the next heat. That is going to be Ewan Springett in lane number 9 of the next heat. Team Merciers. Team Merciers at David Broadbent trying to come back. 12:33.65 is still the time for our leader, James Watson. 12:33 then. We've just slightly dipped into the 69 points there, but nonetheless still a very good time. These boys are now reaching the light at the end of the tunnel. Great to see those coaches on poolside. I really do find it fascinating, the hand gestures during 800 and 1500 meters. We see a lot of this, a lot of this, and a lot of this. So your early leader, James Watson, still looks to have this controlled. You can see he is starting to hurt a little bit here, so let's get behind him. He turns in a 13:32.33. And this has slipped down to the 69 points. So let's get behind your early leader. He's taken the guts to take it out. Great to see the coach below me. There's a lot of hand gestures here going from the coach. I believe he may be the Team Mercia coach. The lovely orange top of the coach below me. Some wonderful hand gestures there. Getting very excited for his swimmer. It looks like he will do a personal best time. But it is still the swimmer in lane number 1, James Watson. Remember, he is 14 years of age. We do need to keep an eye on the centre lanes as well because they are our 16-17 category. And at the moment, that is David Broadbent leading the way. City of Milton Keynes then are still trying to keep into contention with Marcus Johnson. And a great swim as well by Joseph Dobbs. Now these guys are now turning at the 1300 metre mark, 14:41.56. That is another 69 point there for William. James. All of these swimmers then are now starting to see the light at the end of the tunnel. And at this next turn, James will have just 150 metres to go. He can see the number 3 sign. At this end by the scoreboard, he will hear the bell and it will be sound to his ears. Great to see those spectators over the other side getting very excited as well. One lady out the front looking very nervous in the black top. Giving a good shout and a good wave. I think she may even be cheering on James Watson. Also got some coaches and swimmers on poolside shouting and screaming. We have the bell, ladies and gentlemen. Let's bring all of our boys home. 15:50.08. So Marcus Johnson also getting in there. 15:54 point. And look at the battle that's happening behind your winner at the moment, James Watson. These boys are trying to get him. It is between David Broadbent, Bailey Fimbo is also coming back very strong, as is Marcus Johnson. But at the moment, with about 2 body lengths up on his rivals, it is the swimmer in James Watson. I can tell you his entry time, James Watson, was 17:14.01. 17:14.01 for the 15-year-old. Ladies and gentlemen, come on, let's bring our swimmers home as they come into the last 15 metres. City of Milton Keynes swimmer is now trying to make his move. Marcus Johnson trying to just give what he can. What has he got left? But your winner is going to be James Watson in a 16:55.94. So Marcus Johnson taking the second position there in a 16:58.18, and Bailey Fimbo, a very fast finish from him in 17 minutes, .22. These boys are all faster than their entry time. 2 boys under 17 minutes. We've still got a number of swimmers to go, so let's bring them home. Great swimming by all of these boys. So Marcus Johnson then, are your 16-year-old going 16:58.18. James Watson, your 15-year-old, 16:55.94. This is heat number 4, and all of our boys have done extremely well. Those results are now official.
We have a tweet here from Ruby saying it has been such an amazing experience. Proud to have been part of it. Hashtag ASA Nat 2015. And here she is with photos with her friends and also the starting on her backstroke. So amazing. Keep sending your photos in. And do use the hashtag ASA Nat 2015. And we've got one here from @Brandon Abnew saying, congrats Timothy Lerbel, proud of you from Canada. So they're watching all the way from Canada on the live stream, and they watched him in the 12 to 13 years at 1500 meters freestyle. And we've just got one heat left this afternoon, and that is heat number 5. Got a wide range of swimmers. One last 15-year-old. That's Ewan Springett from City of Oxford going in lane number 9. All the way up to 27 years of age. That's Patrick Meggitt of City of Hereford in lane number 4 with the fastest entry time there. And just before we come up to the final heat, let's see if we can read out some more tweets. We've got one here from Louise Bennett saying, can you please wish Swim Trafford swimmers Connor Bennett and Solomon Mayer all the best in the next heat from the Swim Trafford mums. So good luck to all the Swim Trafford swimmers. That's Solomon Mayer going in lane 0 and lane number 3 for Connor Bennett. We're on to heat number 5, the final heat this afternoon of the men's 1500 meters freestyle. On to the last heat this afternoon with the final heat, heat number 6, swum at the first event in tonight's session. So heat number 5, swimming in lane 0, representing Swim Trafford, Solomon Mayer. In 1, representing Hatfield, Nathan Bentley. In 2, swimming for Saxon Crown, Michael Foster. In 3, representing Swim Trafford, Connor Bennett. In 4, representing City of Hereford, Patrick Meggitt. In 5, swimming for Rotherham Metro, George Russell. At lane 6, representing Richmond and Dale, Kieran Fryer. Lane 7, swimming for Thanet, Oscar McCartney. Lane 8, representing Halton, Thomas Roberts. And in lane 9, completing the lineup for heat number 5, representing City of Oxford, Ewan Springett. So at the first 100-meter split there, we have Kieran Fryer, lane number 6, going sub-60, the only swimmer to go sub-60 for the first 100. And it's 59.23 to the Richmond and Dale swimmer. It's about a body length ahead. Currently lying in second place is Connor Bennett from Swim Trafford. And turning their third, currently lane number 5, Rotherham Metro's George Russell in a time of 1:34.72. But really zooming out in front there, it is a lane number 6, Kieran Fryer. Absolutely 5 meters now already as we come up to the 200-meter mark. And so turning there is Kieran Fryer leading the way. He did 59.23 for his first 100 split. He turned there in 2:03.86. So split there for his second 100, 64.6. Let's see what he turns into consistently doing throughout this 1500. Currently there's 3 breakout swimmers currently vying for a second place position. One of those lane number 3, Connor Bennett from Swim Trafford. And turning alongside him in lanes 4 and 5, it's Patrick Meggitt of City of Hereford and George Russell of Rotherham and Metro. We've got a range of ages here, like I said earlier, one 15-year-old left, that's Ewan Springett from City of Oxford in lane number 9, through to our oldest swimmer, 27-year-old Patrick Meggitt in lane number 4. He's got the fastest qualifying time, 16:56. But it is not going all his own way, as currently lying in first place it is Kieran Fryer, 3:09.75 at the 300-meter mark. That's a 65.9 there. Consists seconds slower than his previous 100, and like I said before, let's see what he settles down into for his 100-meter splits.
So the swimmer in lane number 6 really taking it out. That's Kieran Fryer, Richmond Dale. Kieran is 18 years of age and has an entry time of 17:01.55. He's just seen a couple of swimmers go under the 17 mark already, and he would again had a conversation with his coach as to how to swim this race. At the moment, he has got quite a fast stroke rate for the 1500, so he's obviously trying to get himself into a good pace. Be interesting to see what the next couple of 100 splits are. So we've seen 64.65 points from Kieran. He now turns 416.86. That is a 66.9 again. So he is now settling down into this pace. It's already 8 seconds faster than the previous heat. But like I said before, anything can happen. These boys still have quite a long way to go. The battle's starting to hot up now behind him, as we see Patrick Meggett sandwiched in between Connor Bennett and George Russell. Connor Bennett swimming for Swim Trafford, George Russell for Rotherham Metro, and Patrick Meggett for the City of Hereford. Mentioned we have a real mixture of ages. Ewan Springett out in lane number 9 is our 15-year-old. Then in the 16-17-year-old category is Solomon Marr, Nathan Bentley, Michael Foster, Connor Bennett, Oscar McCartney and Thomas Roberts. Patrick Meggett, George Russell and Kieran Fryer are all in the 18 and over. 5:23.71. We're now settling around the 67 points for this one, 67.9. And again, we're 9 seconds quicker than the previous heat. So 5:23.71 at the 500-meter mark. These boys have just under 1,000 meters to go. But it's really great to see swimmers trying to take this on, not be as scared of the pain, knowing that they will struggle in the latter part of this race. But it's nice to have the confidence, knowing that you've done all of the hard work and training and that you have the ability to take it out, because the stamina and the strength will be there as they come home. 6:30.19. 6:30.19 then. That is a 67 point again. 67 point there for that 100.
And it is Kieran Fryer who now is a good 5 seconds faster than the fastest 600 so far. That was back in heat number 3. They clocked 6:35.87. Here he is on 6:30.19. He's a good 10-15 meters ahead of now a lane number 3. That's Connor Bennett from Swim Trafford, who in turn a good 5 meters ahead of those two vying for the third place currently. Just inching ahead though of that is a lane number 5, George Russell of Rotherham Metro. He's about half a body length ahead of Patrick Meggett of City of Hereford. As we come up to the 700 meter mark, turning there 7:36.27. And that's a 66.1 there for Kieran Fryer. Slightly picking up the pace, only just, but he is starting to settle from his 66 after that 59 that he did right back in the first 100. He's looking as he continues to send his lead, just slightly now as he comes up to this 750 turn. He can see 15 lengths to go there. And as he comes down this length, it will be to the 800, and he will know he's over halfway, ladies and gentlemen, over halfway in heat number 5 of the men's 1500 meters freestyle. And so we do have 4 swimmers who have pulled away from the rest of the field, but currently lying in 5th position is the Hatfield swimmer in lane number 1. That's Nathan Bentley. And going also alongside him in lane 0 is a Solomon Ma of Swim Trafford. But they're at the 800 meter mark. Kieran Fry from Richmond and Dale, 8:43.02. And that's a 66.8 for him in that 100 meter split there. Be interesting to see what the splits are for the other swimmers currently who are holding on to that 2nd position. And we are over halfway now. We're coming up to the 900 meters now. And Kieran Fry is consistently keeping a 15-meter lead ahead of lane number 3. That's Connor Bennett from Swim Trafford. And at the 900-meter mark, turning now in a time of 9:49.51. Again, that's 66.5. Very consistent 100-meter splits here from Kieran Fryer.
So 9:41.51, that really is setting the pace, and he doesn't like to be tiring at all. This really is outstanding swimming by Kieran Fryer out in lane number 6, swimming on his own, and wow, what a great job he's doing. Starting to now to make his move is Connor Bennett, Swim Trafford. He's got about 2 body lengths up on the guys behind him, which are Patrick Miggett and George Russell. But still, we've got numbers of swimmers behind them that are still on course for personal best times. So it's not just about our leaders out in the front, it's about every single swimmer. They need to work towards personal best times. But ladies and gentlemen, it is key to note, if they don't hit a personal best time, but they've learned from the experience or they've tried what they've been told to do, then that is just as important, because that will still make them stronger swimmers as they move through the ranks and through the years. Kieran Fryer, he turns on a 10:56.41. That has really increased the pace there, because we're now down into the 65 points for Kieran. Now, if I was really clever, I could work out what he might end up at, but at this stage, my maths isn't the best, I'm afraid. We've still got some tweets coming out, and we've got a news Twitter shout from, thank you guys for the shout out. We're still live over here. Wonderful weather here in Canada. Wonderful event to team. Well done, guys. We've also got a well done at Joe Dobb. Brilliant swim from all of Bromley. That really was. He was out in lane 0 and he really did a great job. 12:02.61 then at 12:02.61. We're back to the 68.2 marks here. 66 points, sorry. Did tell you my maths wasn't the best. 66.2 then, as he's coming up at the next turn by the scoreboard end. He will have 300 meters to go. Remember, we do have the mixed ages in this event and in this heat. And at the end of this session, after this heat, we will be doing presentations for the 12-13 category, the 14 category, and the 15-16 categories. Tonight, we'll swim the fastest heat, and that consists of 16 to 17-year-olds and 18 and over. So here comes Kieran Fryer as he turns with just over 300 meters to go.
And at the 1200 mark there, Kieran Fryer, 13:09.28. And he's breaking it up to a 66.8 there, still consistently on the 66s. Currently second there, it is Connor Bennett of Swim Trafford. And they are now about 5-6 meters ahead of those swimmers in lane 4 and 5. That's Patrick Meggitt and George Russell, who have really been neck and neck throughout this whole entire 1500 and just, you know, led from the beginning. Kieran Fryer of Richmond Dale, lane number 6, has really swum his own race. Very consistent now. Going to see how much he can pick it up as we come up into the last 200 meters. See what his splits can be. He's going to be feeling very tired, but what can he pick up as he comes into the 1300 meters now? And just 200 meters to go, ladies and gentlemen, for heat number 5 for Kieran Fryer. 14:16.21. That is 66.9. Again, very consistent. 66.8, 66.9 for this last 200. Connor Bennett turning there 14:32.5. And currently third is George Russell, 14:37.6. And just 0.5, so 5/10 behind him. 14:38.13 there for Patrick Meggitt, and you'll really see the fight between these two swimmers. They're breathing and looking at each other as they come down this length, trying to stare each other out as we have now just 150 to go, ladies and gentlemen. And really, Kieran Fryer has had an outstanding swim here. His entry time is 17:01.55, and he's going to be well below that. He'll be looking to break the 16-minute mark, and that's a whole minute quicker than his entry time. And the bell goes for him there, 15:23.06. 15:36.98 was the fastest 1400 in heat number 3. 15:23.01. That's a good 13 seconds quicker. If he can keep it up, he will break the 16-minute mark. And it's the final turn now for Kieran Fryer of Richmond and Dale in lane number 6. Let's get behind him as he powers down this last 50 meters. Currently lying in second and has done for pretty much the entire race. Lane number 3, he's turning into his final turn here. That's Connor Bennett from Swim Sheffield, and really vying for this third place finish is a fight between the central 2 lanes. Lane 4, Patrick Meggitt, City of Hereford, and George Russell of Rotherham Metro. And coming into touch now is Kieran Fryer. Give him a cheer. It's 16:27.13. He's way out in front, and currently in second it is lane number 3, Connor Bennett from Swim Trafford, and having an excellent push on this final 50. Lane number 4, Patrick Meggitt from City of Hereford. Second there going to Connor Bennett of Swim Trafford, 16:45.57. And third going to Nathan Bentley of Hatfield in an astounding 16:49.94. He had a phenomenal last 100 meters freestyle. Coming into touch now, it is all swimmers there in heat number 5. Let's give them a round of applause as the official results are now on the scoreboard.
We won't be bringing you a summary of that event because remember, we still have one more heat to swim this evening. If you've just seen your son swim in that race, or one of your relatives or a friend, for every single boy in that 1500, regardless what heat, can you please show your appreciation and put your hands together? Fantastic. That's great supporting. We really do appreciate it, as does every other swimmer. Mentioned before that we have had a lot of help there this week, and over 90 plus workforce are in place every single day. We are the guys with the navy blue t-shirts, and we've got a number of volunteers that have given up their time to be with us this week. Loads of people to mention, but personally I'd like to mention Chris and Sally, who have been with us to do the biogs. Beside me, we have Ross and Kelly, who have been screaming at us when to go and when to move. So thank you guys for your help. And without every single person on poolside and behind the scenes, this event really wouldn't happen. So come on, ladies and gentlemen, and show your appreciation for our volunteer workforce.
We're still having some great photos come in. One here from Woking Swimming Club using the hashtag ASA Nat 2015. And one here from Andrew Roy on the podium last night for the 100 meters freestyle. Congratulations, Andrew. A great swim from you. Do keeping your photos coming in and your tweets coming in. Do remember, use the hashtag ASA Nat 2015.
So, Jen, we have quite a few finals this afternoon. Which one are you looking forward to?
Well, after that fantastic swim from Kieran Fry, I'm actually really looking forward to the 1500 later to see where he's going to place. How about you?
I do like a 400 IM, especially at the end of a competition, because it really does show the maturity of those swimmers that are a little bit tired, but can mentally toughen it out on the longer distances. Also, of course, we do have a 50-meter backstroke, which is one of my favorite events, but I'm also looking forward to the 100 meters backstroke for men. Can we please have Thomas Watkins to the presentation area immediately, please? That's Thomas Watkins to the presentation area. I'm just having a look around the poolside to see who of you is awake and ready to congratulate our swimmers. Tony Beckley looks to be a little bit asleep over there. Sorry, Tony, I thought you had your head down, just resting there. Apologies. Do send us your tweets, please, to @ASA hashtag ASA Nat 2015. I think Tony keeps trying to tweet me, but they're not coming up, Tony. It is hashtag ASA Tony Nat 2015.
Can we please have James Cooper to the presentation area immediately, please? That's James Cooper from Romford Town to the presentation area immediately. Thank you. And could we also have a William Martin, William Davies, and James Watson to the presentation area, please? That's William Martin from Maxwell, William Davies from Swindon Dolphins, and James Watson from Swindon Dolphins over to the presentation area immediately, please. Would love to present to you and have your victory ceremony. So as soon as you can get there, we can present you with your medals.
Just to let you know who we've got in the last heat this evening in the 1500. In lane 0 will be Thomas Smith from Northampton. Lane 1, Simon McCormick from Derwent side. 2 will see Albert Caravis from Windsor. 3, Jamie Garbett from Middlesbrough. 4 will see Tavistock's Matt Edwards. 5 will have North Cornwall's Oliver Jarvis. In lane 6, we'll have Mount Kelly's Harry Hathaway. Lane 7, swimming for the Bath University will be Timothy Robinson. And in lane number 9, from Northampton, will be Liam Snook.
Could William Martin from Maxwell please make your way down to the presentation area immediately? That's William Martin from Maxwell to the presentation area immediately.
Come on, William, we know you've done a 1500, but you must have enough energy to go and get that beautiful medal. We will be making those presentations in just a moment, so we really do appreciate those of you that have stuck around, as do, I'm sure, all of our swimmers on the pool side who are and should be making their way down to the presentation area. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the poolside your medalists for the men's 1500 metres freestyle in the age groups 12 to 13 and 14 years and 15 years. The winner of the bronze medal, my apologies, presenting will be ASA President Ray Hedger. The winner of the bronze medal for the 12 to 13 age group, representing the Royal Wolverhampton School, Thomas Watkin. For the 14-year-old age group, representing Northampton, Billy Petit. And for the 15-year age group, William Davies. The winner of the silver medal for the 12 to 13 years, representing Beckenham, Timothy LeBeurle. And for the 14 years, representing Northampton, Brett Davies. And for the 15-year category, representing Swindon Dolphins, James Watson. The winner of the gold medal for the 12 to 13-year age group, representing Romford Town, James Cooper. For the 14-year age group, representing the City of Leeds, Thomas Jackson. And for the 15-year age group, representing Maxwell, William Martin. Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause, please, for your medalists. Swimmers, you are invited to leave the podium and make your way across the side to the photo podium.
And that final victory ceremony concludes this session of racing of the ASA National Summer Championships at Ponsforge International Sports Centre here in Sheffield. Hope you join that session number 10 of the 1500 metres freestyle. We thank you for joining us and hope to see you next up for session number 11, warm up at 3:30 with a 5 p.m. session start. And ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the referees, we would like to thank the technical officials for their service and invite them to leave the poolside.